is called the House Oversight Committee Task Force held a hearing on Tuesday about transparency issues within the federal government regarding unidentified anomalous phenomenon. That's what
Yeah,
that means.
They always change the fucking word.
Yeah, they're fucking UFOs, asshole.
Yeah.
But
So
just
the
call it
House Oversight Committee. Okay.
just call it the House Oversight Committee on Transparency about UFOs.
Okay.
Call it that, you know.
All right. All right. We got another episode of Intellectual Dummies. This is a House Oversight Committee edition, and it's about transparency when it comes to UFOs and UFO files. This should be interesting. I don't know what I think about UFOs, but tell us what you think in the comments, and like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it.
That's the introduction.
I mean, I guess so.
You didn't do like, "What's up, everyone? I'm Luke. This is Paul."
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Fuck.
You're like, "Hey, what's up?" So this is what we're about
Did
to
I
do.
do that last time for Rando Reels? I don't think I did. I don't think I did the names.
I think you did. I don't even remember now.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, all right.
Oh,
Doing
man,
it again.
what is with you?
Yeah. All right, we got another edition of Intellectual Dummies. This is a House Oversight. Fuck!
You just did it again.
Welcome to another edition of Intellectual Dummies. This is a House Oversight Committee episode on the transparency of UFOs. I'm your host, Lucas. This is my co-host, Paul.
What up?
And let us know what you think. I mean, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments. What do you think about UFOs?
Me, I definitely believe, but I just don't know what to believe.
Yeah, I mean, reading the we've been studying up on the Book of Enoch. That'll be a later episode, probably in the next week or so. Reading the Book of Enoch really changed my perspective a lot on UFOs. That's for sure. That's for absolute sure.
That's it. Yeah. Just that's for sure. And then you're gonna hiccup into the microphone.
Yeah, I mean, what else you want me to say?
I thought you were gonna give like an example of what.
Oh, I mean, I suppose I can. I mean,
you're like that's for sure. That's for sure. What example?
So, like in the Book of Enoch, angels come down from heaven and they procreate with humans. I mean, that's beside the point, but they give humans advanced technology. And then you start looking at artifacts that were found in, I think it was the Adriatic Sea or the Ionian Sea, I forget, somewhere around Greece. They're like finding artifacts that are like, this is like the equivalent to finding a jet engine airplane in King Tut's tomb. You know?
Really?
Yeah. We'll pull it up when we do the Book of Enoch. We'll pull all that stuff up. But that could be the example of the advanced technology. Or, I mean, look how they built the pyramids. I mean, we're still not really sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of these carvings and how they move these big stones, not even in Egypt, all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think that these angels in the Bible, the Watchers, they call them the Watchers. And what are these UFOs doing? They're watching us. They're watching us. They're sometimes kidnapping us. You know, but who's to say thousands of years ago they didn't get curious and like, hey, let's give this monkey a gun. and see what happens, you
Yeah.
know? So that's what I think right now. I mean, my opinion will change a million times based off of new information, and we're really getting into theology over here sometimes. So that's what I think. What do you
Yeah.
think?
No, like I said, I definitely believe there's something there. I just don't know exactly what. Could it be angels watching over us? Sure.
Mm,
Could it be like I talked to you before, how we see orbs, but it could it be something so advanced and something so terrific that our feeble brains can't even comprehend it. So
yeah.
we just see an orb. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like who knows what it is?
Yeah. I mean,
You
we can
know?
only see certain spectrums of light.
Hmm.
Like, think about that. We can only see certain spectrums of light. Different animals can see different spectrums of light. They can literally see things that we can't see. Like, for instance, like when you put the black light and you can see either blood or sperm or stuff like that.
Yeah, blood. Yep.
There are
I
animals
don't know
that
why
can
you
just
had to name sperm, but yeah,
yeah,
blood.
well, well, there are some species that can see that by themselves. They don't
Yes,
need the
yes,
black light.
yes.
That's wild. And there's like some type of crustacean that has, I forget what they're called in your eyes, like trichomes. I forget what it's called in our eyes, that it's what picks up color. And we have a certain amount of them. But there's like a little crustacean that has like 100 times what we have. So they're seeing colors
Hmm.
that we can't see. Now just try
Hmm.
to imagine a new color.
Yeah, I couldn't
You
even.
know, you can't do it. I mean,
Yeah.
and who knows what we can't see that's happening all around us all the time. And
Hmm.
but these UFOs, I mean, maybe we're seeing a small part of what's actually happening. Like these orbs are probably sucking in some type of fucking, I don't know. I have
Yeah,
no idea.
like you ever hear that quote when you say we're not seeing things that could be here? Like you ever hear that quote like how many or that question, how many times do you think an ant sees a human in its lifetime?
Yeah,
It could be never,
I know.
you know? How do you know that we're just so small that we don't see what's the bigger picture?
Yeah.
And maybe these UFOs are like literally an elbow, like of something more giant, and that's all we can comprehend.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know
Or
what I'm
just like a
saying?
little eye looking in
Yeah,
and
something
then
like
coming
that.
out,
Yeah, we do not know. But this hearing, what I will say is, I haven't watched it yet because this is the key moments at the House UFO transparency hearing, and it's an hour and 18 minutes. The
Okay.
original hearing is pretty much like over 3 hours.
Okay,
So
so
this
this
is
is
all the
yeah.
highlights of
It's
the good
probably gonna be a
stuff.
two-parter video.
Yeah, for sure. But I figured we both react to it live because I haven't seen it yet either.
Yeah, let's
All
make
right,
it happen, Cap.
let's do it.
I'm a former military police officer with 16 years of active duty service in the U.S. Air Force. I'm here today because the American people have both the right and the responsibility to know the truth about unidentified aerial phenomenon. That truth remains hidden, classified, and silenced by fear, retaliation, stigma, and confusion. Today, we are here to help break that silence. Between 2003 and 2005, 5 UAP incidents occurred at Vandenberg Air Force Base, home to the National Missile Defense Project, a top national security priority. At the time, we were conducting launches deemed by the National Reconnaissance Office as the most important in 25 years. These were historic launches. These facilities were vital, and they were repeatedly visited by UAP. Each incident was witnessed by multiple personnel, documented, investigated, and reported up the chain of command. We sent information up, but we got no guidance down on how to handle these events. I personally witnessed one of these events and investigated others as they occurred. 6 other service members have provided me with the information that I will share with you today. The incursions began on October 14th, 2003. when Boeing contractors reported a massive glowing red square silently hovering over 2 missile defense sites. After several minutes, it drifted further east onto the base and vanished over the hills. This event, now known as the Vandenberg Red Square, was referenced by Representative Luna at the first.
I've never heard of the Vandenberg Red Square. Have you?
Yeah, I know. That sounds crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a red square.
Yeah, it's just the Vandenberg
Square.
Red Square. The
Yeah.
event called that. Like, I've never heard of that before, ever.
Yeah, that's wild.
Hearing on this topic. Official Air Force records of this event are in possession by Aero and the FBI. Later that night, while I was on duty, security guards at a critical launch site reported a bright, fast-moving object over the ocean. I responded to the incident. Chaos ensued over the radio as the object approached rapidly. I heard my friends screaming, "It's coming right at us, it's coming right for us, and now it's right here."
No, I'm not trying to, not trying to interrupt, but what an Italian last name is this?
I know, right?
Nusatelli.
It sounds like a spread of some sort. Hey, get some Nucatelli. Get the Nucatelli.
I just noticed that I went, holy shit.
Moments later, I heard them say that it had shot off and was gone. When I arrived on scene, I talked to 5 shaken witnesses who described a massive triangular craft larger than a football field that hovered silently for about 45 seconds over their entry control point before shooting away at impossible speed. About a week later, another patrol reported a light over the ocean behaving erratically. Believing it might be an unannounced aircraft, they declared an emergency, and an armed response force responded. Before the forces could arrive, the object descended and either landed or hovered on our flight line and then took off again at impossible speed. The witnesses to this event were threatened and intimidated afterward. They were told to keep quiet and think about what they were reporting. After that, things did get quiet until about 2005, when another patrol reported a massive triangular craft larger than a C-130 silently floating over the installation. He watched it for a few minutes. It traveled west and disappeared into the night. And then I had my own encounter, again in 2005. I was off duty, sitting in my backyard with 2 other police officers when we noticed what first appeared to be a satellite in orbit, but it wasn't acting like a satellite. The light was strange, it was pulsing, and then it started to maneuver. It dropped in elevation. At times it would vanish from view and reappear in a different location in the sky, and eventually it reappeared 200 feet over my house. It was a 30-foot diameter sphere of light. My friends and I watched it for a moment, and then it gently accelerated and traveled up and disappeared into the stars. These events profoundly changed my life.
I mean, that's a pretty wild story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say about some of this stuff. You know, I mean, you hear stories like this all the time. I mean, it's
I was
very
just about to
redundant.
say it. Like, with UFO stories, it's like, man, everyone just has a story.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
silently floating, took off at impossible speeds. It's always like that, or even coming in and out of the ocean without a splash. You know, that's wild.
I've actually heard that on a bunch of accounts.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, William Cooper actually said that a long time ago that's what he saw.
Well, I mean, who's to say too? I mean, the bottom of the ocean could have, I mean, in my opinion, I mean, I'm no biologist or astrobiologist or anything. Intelligent life could have evolved under there well before it evolved on land.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think that might be where some advanced civilization, if civilization is even the word, you know, evolved down there first, and they've already harnessed the technology of the solar system, or maybe even the galaxy.
Yeah, who knows?
You know,
Who knows?
And the lives of my friends. We stand at a pivotal moment in history. The question is no longer whether these events are real, but whether we have the courage to face them. True leadership requires vision, a willingness to confront the unknown with transparency and resolve. So I ask the Congress to help we, the people, enact this vision. There are 3 goals. Fund independent research and treat UAP study with the same seriousness as we would any other scientific field. 2, end secrecy and overclassification. Transparency is the foundation of truth. Without it, witnesses like us are dismissed. 3, protect the witnesses. Many stay silent out of fear for their careers, reputations, and the safety of their families. Protect them, and you will embolden others to join this cause. These phenomena challenge our deepest assumptions about reality, consciousness, and our place in the universe. Exploring them can unlock transformative breakthroughs in technology, biology, and human understanding. Let this be the moment when America chooses courage over fear, transparency over secrecy, and progress over stagnation. Let's show the world that our nation leads not only through strength, but through fearless pursuit of the truth. Thank you.
My name is Alexandro Wiggins. I'm an active duty U.S. Navy Operations Specialist, Senior Chief Petty Officer, father of 3, and dedicated American testifying today in my...
A last name like Wiggins and a haircut like this is pretty comical.
where's
Personal
Bob
capacity.
Lazar right now? Bob Lazar should be up here.
You would think so, but I think these are all whistleblowers. I don't know if they all have to do with the same thing.
Yeah.
The views I share are my own, and I do not represent the official positions of the Department of the Navy or any subordinate organization. On the evening of February 15th, 2023, at approximately 19:15 PST, in the Whiskey 291 warning area off the coast of Southern California, I was serving on board USS Jackson.
1953. What time is that in regular people time?
What was it?
1953.
1953 is 7:53.
Okay.
During that period, I moved between the Interior Communications Center, ICC-1, and the bridge wing, correlating the sensor picture with visual observations, part of my routine responsibilities for surface and air picture management. What I observed and what our crew recorded was not consistent with conventional aircraft or drones as they appear on our system. A self-luminous tic-tac shaped object emerged from the ocean before linking up with 3 other similar objects. The 4 then disappeared simultaneously with a high synchronized near instantaneous acceleration. I observed no sonic boom and no conventional propulsion signatures, no exhaust plume, no control surface articulation on the Sapphire image system. Shortly after the synchronized departure, radar tracks dropped. These observations were multi-sensor and recorded inside of ICC-1 with time location overlay visible in our source frames that have been made public by journalists. From my experience operating in this region over many years and consistent with our public characterized encounters, unidentified objects reoccur in United States operation areas off Southern California. That fact alone does not tell us what they are, but it does argue the systematic stigma-free reporting and for the preservation of sensor data so analysts can evaluate safe and intelligence implications with rigor. I want to underscore 3 points for the task force and the committee. Aviation and maritime safety. When crews and watchstanders observe objects that maneuver or accelerate in ways that does not match known profiles and do so near our ships and aircraft, That is, first and foremost, a safety issue. Standardized checklist and training should ensure we capture the best possible sensor data in real time, including IR settings, slant range estimates, and bearing and range altitude snapshots, and immediate chain of custody for any recordings. Reporting without stigma, protection without retribution. Sailors need to know that reporting UAP encounters will not harm their careers. Congress can help by reinforcing witness protection and by directing the relevant office to maintain confidential, destigmatized channels for service members who step forward with data. Declassification and transparency where possible.
Yeah,
the task force.
Yeah, it's like the stigmatization, the stigmatization. I'm not saying the word. Whatever, you know what word. Stigmatization.
Stigmatization.
Of
Yeah.
reporting these incidences. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so how do you write that down without it sounding weird?
Yeah.
You know, how's this guy doing? Should we promote him? Well, let's check his file. Oh, he sees shapes in the sky a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, what do you do with that? How do
Yeah, he
you
likes-
weigh that?
Yeah.
You know,
It's very true. But what I will say, and no disrespect to this Wiggins character, but if I was going in front of Congress and I had a speech, I would practice that speech every
Yeah.
single night before bed for for as long as I was, from when I was done with the speech writing it until it came time to Congress, that by the time I'm saying it in Congress, I'm doing it. I'm not even reading the paper. I'm looking at them. I got my hands going.
Yeah.
But it always boggles my mind, these people who literally just read word for word what they wrote down. It's like, did you even try to practice?
Yeah, like you didn't read this over like a single time.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
maybe he's just a bad reader. I don't know, but like you should practice. At least,
I could just see it's a tough struggle with old Wiggins. That's all I gotta say. He was a tough read right there.
Declassification mission is directly relevant here, where operational security permits releasing metadata preserved sensor excerpts, or at least technical summaries, would improve public trust and accelerate outside scientific scrutiny.
Oh my God.
That includes, when feasible, time geo-reference IR frames and radar parameters needed for independent analysis. To be clear,
This chick is probably the one that worked with him beforehand and is like, I can't believe he's just friggin' dragging like this.
yeah, her face is like, I might lose my job after this because he's fucking butchering this speech.
I'm not here to make claims beyond my lane. I'm here to provide a firsthand account of what I saw, what our systems recorded, and why it matters for safety, for intelligence, and public confidence. My request to you is practical. Help us capture, protect, fairly evaluate the evidence, and provide a safe pathway for those in uniform to report it. In closing, I want to thank the committee and the task force for holding this hearing and for placing this discussion in a forum where evidence can be examined carefully and openly. I appreciate your attention and stand ready to answer your questions. Thank you.
I'm George Knapp, Chief Investigative Reporter at KLAS TV in Las Vegas. I began my
she was like, I ate an edible before this. I'm so excited.
pursuit of this week.
Oh, I know this guy here.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's the guy. He goes on Joe Rogan's podcast a lot. I don't know his name.
Yeah, this guy too is also. I've seen him on alien shows. I know I have.
Weird mystery way back in 1987, and for 38 years, I've always approached this as a news story. It's not a matter of faith or belief. To me, it's a story, and it's an important one. I'm proud to be here alongside these witnesses today, men who have seen strange things and step forward to tell the world about it. Whistleblowers and witnesses who step up are routinely insulted, belittled, or worse. They risk their reputations, their careers, their clearances, their livelihoods, and sometimes much worse than that, even their freedom. I know that one of the goals of the task force here is to figure out ways to protect whistleblowers and witnesses. And it's a tall order because so many of the things that happen to witnesses like these are extra legal. They're carried out by persons unknown, as Mr. Dave Grush, sitting up at the top of the room, knows all too well, including events in recent days that have happened to him. I want to share a couple of things that I've learned along the way on this long journey, and I submitted most of that in written form because I estimate that my statement here today would take about 4.5 hours. So I'm going to try to jump.
All those assholes. It's like we're only talking about the most interesting thing in the entire world, and everyone's fucking whispering to each other. That's bullshit. It's like aliens. Aliens. I don't know.
Over
Anyways,
and touch on the more important salient points. I submitted the detailed written statement for the record, and we'll go into a lot of that here. But the public has been told over and over since the late 40s, there's nothing to worry about here. These mysterious craft seen by millions of people in the skies, in the oceans, over the land are not real. They're not a threat. The witnesses are wrong. They're crackpots. Don't believe it. That changed for me. What got me hooked is the paper trail. Documents that were squeezed out of the U.S. government after the FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, became the law of the land. And those documents paint a much different picture than what the public, the press, and Congress have been told over many years. The documents from military and intelligence personnel behind closed doors admit that, quote, these things are real. They're not fictitious. They can.
This lady looks like her hair is just all lint, like dry.
She looks like she's dead.
Yeah, like something out of what was that movie? Drag You to Hell.
Yeah.
Remember Drag You to Hell? That old gypsy woman.
Fly in formation. They're evasive, and they outperform any aircraft known to exist, including ours. The public, of course, as I said, has been told something much different. Back in 1989, I reported about a guy named Bob Lazar, who claimed that he worked at a facility dubbed S4 out in the Nevada desert, very near to Area 51. He said he was part of a reverse engineering program. He said there are alien craft that will be taken apart to figure out how they operated out there. And that was a pretty tall order. I had clearly taken a dive into the deep end of the pool there. But in the years since then, I've interviewed dozens of other people, and I've detailed what their testimony has been in the written statement. They include Senator Harry Reid, Senator Howard Cannon, also of Nevada, a guy named Al O'Donnell, who was the first general manager of EG&G in Nevada, which managed the Nevada test site, which blew up hundreds of nuclear weapons. There's a guy named Dr. James Lakatsky, who was a career scientist with the Defense Intelligence Agency, who was the guy who initiated a program called OSAP, Advanced Aerospace Weapons Systems Application Program, which is, as far as we know, the largest acknowledged UFO program ever funded by the U.S. government, which put together an amazing pile of information that members of this committee and the world, most of which have never seen. The DIA still hasn't released 95% of what was prepared by that program at a cost of millions and millions of dollars. The one name I do want to bring up in this session, though, is Robert Bigelow. So looking into the idea of crash retrievals and reverse engineering, while OSAP, that program, was active, the DIA's contractor, Robert Bigelow of Las Vegas, made a bold attempt to acquire physical proof of UFO crashes. It's been widely reported and suspected that Lockheed Martin is one of the contractors, the defense contractors, that has held this stuff, stored it away in secrecy, and tried to figure out how it works. I have confirmed on the record that Robert Bigelow and a trusted colleague from OSAP met with and negotiated with senior executives at Lockheed Martin and hammered out a deal wherein Bigelow's company, Bass, would receive a quantity of unusual material that had been stashed away and protected at a facility in California. That material was not made here. I want to move on now to the Russia files, because that was going to be sort of the central impetus of what I was going to talk to you about today. Back in the early 90s, I got into Russia, met with a number of their defense officials, Ministry of Defense and others, who confirmed for me that Russia had been doing the same thing the United States had been doing, that is, secretly studying UFOs while publicly saying something completely different. The documents and interviews that I obtained and have now shared with this task force show that the USSR launched what is almost certainly the largest UFO UAP investigation in the world. The first phase of that was an order was sent out to the entire USSR military empire that every unit, you see anything strange in the sky, a craft, an orb, something unusual, you had to gather all the evidence, collect testimony from the witnesses, look for physical evidence, and all of that information went into one program at the Ministry of Defense. Thousands and thousands of these reports came in. A lot of them were first routed to the KGB, but then back to another program that came after this collection effort called Thread 3. And Thread 3 was an analysis program. We have provided to the committee the documents of what they were trying to do, and essentially they were trying to build their own UFOs. They were using the information from their observations and studies to try to figure out the technology. The guy who was in charge of that program, Colonel Boris Sokolov, told me that their goal was to basically develop technology that would be superior to anything we had based on what they learned from UFOs.
Mr. Knapp, just in the name of time,
Sure.
to my understanding, did you have anything you wanted to submit for Congress to see in this committee?
I have submitted those documents.
It's yeah. She's like, hey, buddy, what? Can we wrap this up here? What's going on?
Would you like to play any videos? Do you have a video that you would like to play?
I don't think it's for me to play.
No, that was for Alexander.
Yeah,
She's
pause it real quick.
She's attractive, Miss Luna.
Yeah. I mean, reverse engineering these UFOs. I mean, that's going to take I mean, for one, that seems very dangerous. For two, hopefully we can do it in a not dangerous way. And for three, whoever figures it out first wins.
Mm-hmm.
Just as simple as that. Just whoever figures it out first wins.
Yeah.
That is going to be the dominant political power, cultural power, economic power
and
in the
it's
United
not
States.
it's not something you can fake like the moon landing either. Like
Yeah.
you have to have the actual technology and the proof.
Yeah, but it's like hopefully we're just like we're just monkeys pressing buttons on this thing we don't understand.
Yeah,
Hopefully that it doesn't like set off a nuke by accident.
that could happen.
You know, it could happen. I mean, we don't know what we're messing with.
Mm-hmm.
It's like giving a bunch of monkeys a car. They don't know what to do. They press the gas pedal, they're going to floor it into a river, you know,
Yep.
or a tree. It's going to explode.
Yeah, Alexander's video.
Okay.
You could play it. He could narrate it.
Okay. We can, in the name of showing that video to everyone on task force, we'd like to play that video at this time.
Nice.
In
Let's
the
see
name
a
of not
video.
falling asleep, we're going to play this video. Whoa.
Wouldn't surprise you. You always the BGSS team. That like 22,008.
That took off earlier.
If we can get rid of the audio real quick. Mr. Wiggins and Mr. Knapp, we'll get back to what that video was in a moment, but we just want to make sure that it was entered into the record as well as all the documents. Those will be able to be publicly found for everyone in the country to view.
Here, pause it real
Mr. Knapp,
quick.
we'll continue.
That looked like a cursor, like moving around,
Mm-hmm.
checking it out, like a cursor on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was weird.
Yeah, it was weird, and especially because we don't have anything that moves like that.
We don't. Like right now, the closest thing we have are probably drones,
Mm-hmm.
but not silent drones,
Mm-hmm.
not ones that blast off into the space. Fucking crazy.
On the line of questioning, but I'm going to move on to Mr. Borland's opening statements.
My name is Dylan Borland, a former 1N1 geospatial intelligence specialist for the United States Air Force in an active duty enlisted capacity from 2010 to 2013. I've also been employed with BAE Systems and Intrepid Solutions as a senior analyst expert in analyzing video, radar, and advanced electro-optical imagery for official identification of aerial order of battle, as well as naval and ground order of battle. I'm a federal whistleblower, having testified to both the ICIG and ARROW with direct firsthand knowledge of and experience with craft and
Oh my god, I can't stop thinking about Drag Me to Hell now looking at this fucking woman. It's like scaring me.
technologies that are not ours and are reportedly
Jesus.
operating without congressional oversight. Because of my direct knowledge of the reality of certain legacy UAP programs, my professional career was deliberately obstructed, and I have endured sustained reprisals from government agencies for over a decade. From 2011 to 2013, I was stationed at Langley Air Force Base, Virginia, conducting 24-hour operations via manned and unmanned aerial vehicles for Special Operations Forces in the global war on terror. During the summer of 2012, my team was on standby for weather, and I returned to my barracks on base, and at approximately 0130, I saw an approximately 100-foot equilateral triangle take off from near the NASA hangar on the base. The craft interfered with my telephone, did not have any sound, and the material it was made of appeared fluid or dynamic. I was under this triangular craft for a few minutes, and then it rapidly ascended to commercial jet level in seconds, displaying zero kinetic disturbance, sound, or wind displacement. Some years after that experience, I was further exposed to classified information from the UAP legacy crash retrieval program through a sensitive position I held within a special access program. During this time, intelligence officers approached me in fear for their own careers, citing misconduct within these programs and similar retaliation that I was already.
He said it was made of like liquid.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that is crazy. Or at least what he thought was liquid.
Yeah, it looked like some type of, I don't know, some type of liquid. I mean, that's the only way we could describe it, you know? I mean, and then now this guy writes a Bible verse and he says there's wheels up in the sky, or what looks like wheels in the sky.
Or he would say balls of liquid.
I mean, in this case, yeah, but I'm referencing a fucking Bible verse, Paul.
I know you are, but I'm still saying.
Enduring at this time. These issues include medical
That guy is
malpractice
asleep.
committed by Veterans Affairs staff,
What's that?
It looks like that guy's asleep right there.
Oh,
denial of
yeah,
work I
doesn't
performed while
look like that,
enlisted in the
doesn't
United
it?
States Air Force, forged and manipulated employment documents, workplace harassment, including colleagues being directed to not speak with me, manipulation of my security clearance by certain agencies, blocking, delaying, and ultimately removing my ability to be employed within the IC. The retaliation I face and the retaliation against individuals I know who worked in these programs is what convinced me in March 2023 to become a whistleblower. I came forward out of concern for people's lives and to ensure I did
Jasmine
everything I
Crockett.
could to let our
Yeah.
elected representatives know the truth about what is really happening
She's like, shit, I believe in UFOs.
in the executive
Hey,
branch.
pause it. Have you seen that video? All those black people that think that street light's a UFO?
Yes. Yes.
Dude, that's
yes,
so funny.
It is very funny.
That is so. No, I thought that was a UFO when I
At the end
seen
of
it
March
too.
2023, I agreed to meet with ARROW following the suggestion of other federal officials believing it was what our nation required of me. I had reservations with ARROW
I better hear Jasmine Crockett question these people.
due to assessments they were reporting publicly at the time as a misrepresentation of the truth. Because of these concerns, I did not share sources and methods information in order to protect current and former federal personnel who had firsthand exposure to technologies of unknown origin. I did not want anyone to face further retaliation beyond what they had already endured. And unfortunately, a staff member ended up getting in some trouble because of that. After David Grush testified under oath in the summer of
The way he said that, it's like, did he get killed?
Yeah.
He got in some trouble because of that. Moving on, like, okay.
2023 and provided historic disclosure, I was then asked to go to the ICIG and did so in August 2023. It was very clear early on during my intake interview, which was video recorded under oath, that the objective was to solely assess how much I know and not move forward with an investigation with new information I provided them. The aftermath of that IG complaint still troubles me to this day. Since my ICIG complaint, I've been prevented from resuming prior employment and can confirm I'm still blacklisted from certain agencies within the intelligence community. In addition, multiple agencies attempted phishing attacks to assess what I had divulged to the Inspector General, including being asked to disclose details of my ICIG complaint during a CI polygraph for a position unrelated to UFO UAP matters as recently as November 2024. As I sit before you today, I and many other whistleblowers have no job prospects, no foreseeable professional future in a nation every single one of us came forward to defend. Numerous individuals have come forward in various ways to reveal the truth of the UAP reality as patriots and defenders of our nation. Yet many feel discarded, isolated, hopeless, separated from the country they serve. Efforts to rectify this situation for all whistleblowers have been difficult and troubling. And to my fellow whistleblowers and officials who know this information, I offer you my apology, something that I have never gotten, and I'm giving it to you. I swore an oath to the Constitution
This guy definitely prepared compared to the last guy.
he did, yeah.
of the United States,
This
and note
dude's
that
hurt.
demands truth and
He is. He's pretty emotional.
Yeah.
transparency for our democratic republic to function. Each day, these truths remain hidden from our citizens. Humanity drifts further from the principles our nation was founded to uphold. Each day, victims of
Yo, look at this dude over here to the right. What the fuck is this? Like, yo, what the fuck?
There's a they, them.
crimes committed by agencies and companies maintaining this secrecy are denied justice is another day our Constitution is shredded. In 2023, Patriots provided this committee and the executive branch with undeniable proof of the UAP reality, and I commend your continued commitment. The future of humanity is one which we either travel to the stars or regress to the Stone Age with this technology. My career has been to deliver critical information to decision makers. Your role as elected by your representatives is to act on it. The time to act is now. Thank you.
I'm a senior
Jesus.
policy counsel at the Project on Government Oversight.
That
Yeah,
guy was
pause
good.
it. Yeah. So what do you think right now? You think that we should maybe kind of skip some of these guys and just go right to videos?
This is the last. This is the last guy as far as his introduction goes. So we'll just skip to that, and we can go right to the questioning.
Yeah, let's, because maybe we can make this one video if we just kind of skip some of the.
Yeah, we'll go right to the questioning.
I don't know.
This is probably an ad, I bet. All right, here
Mr.
we go.
Borland, in your testimony, you described witnessing large triangular craft while stationed
I
at
don't
Langley
see
Air Force
anything.
Base.
Oh, sorry.
In 2012. Can you explain what you observed in terms of size, behavior, and why you're confident it was not conventional technology?
Great question, ma'am. So on the base, I lived in the barracks. There was a little smoke pit outside. I was there on the telephone and looking across to the flight line, and I see a white light pop up and stop about 100 feet in the air. I thought it was a weather balloon. I've seen tests from there before, weeknight, normal thing, not surprising. I actually finished my cigarette and I began walking up towards the flight line. There is a
He smokes butts. Now I don't trust him.
track, and because I was on 3 months of night work, I would walk the track at night when we were weather down. And as I began walking towards the light, towards the flight line and the track, the light then flies across the base, across the flight line, and as it flies to me, a triangle manifests around the light. I can't tell you if it's active camouflage. I can't tell you if it appeared around the light, but I can tell you that it was a white light and then it was a triangle. It stopped about 100 feet in front of me and approximately 100 feet above me. My telephone got extremely hot, completely froze, dead. I remember how thick it was. It was between 1 to 2 stories thick, equilateral triangle. I could never see the top of it, and the edges were 90 degrees. There were 4 lights in total.
What's 1 to 2 stories thick?
Yeah, and what the angles were 90 degrees if it was an equilateral triangle? That doesn't make any sense.
Unless we're just dumb.
No, well, an equilateral triangle is a triangle where every side is
It's
the
equal.
same angle.
Yeah.
Every angle is the same. Everything's the same length.
Yeah.
But he's saying that the sides were 90-degree angles, which would insinuate that it was, or maybe it was a pyramid shaped, and there was a box on the bottom. Maybe.
Oh, that would explain why if it was the thickness, that's what did he say it was? Something
2
thick?
stories thick.
Yeah, maybe that's what he means by that.
Yeah,
So maybe it
I
was
guess we'll have to
yeah,
settle for that.
yeah, maybe it was a pyramid shape.
One light on each corner and a larger light in the center, 2 to 3 times the size of the corner lights. But what was really odd was the outside. The best way to describe it is like looking at a James Webb telescope picture where you have the colors and then the black background. So the craft itself was this black metallic flake paint, but on top of the craft was this gold lava, plasma, some type of fluid going over and around the craft. I'm under this for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then the center light flashes 2 to 3 times, no sound, immediately shoots up to commercial jet level minimum, in my opinion. And I immediately feel static electricity all over my body. And then I smell the smell of after a thunderstorm or lightning storm, that really strong summer thunderstorm smell. Gets up to flight level. I'm trying to get my phone reset, and I can only see the center light at this point. If I didn't actually see it take off, I would have thought it was a star. And then it hovers up there, and it begins to slowly move due east out over the Atlantic Ocean. I finally got my phone reset. The entire thing was about, from the time I saw the light pop up near the hangar until it took off out over the ocean, was about 15 minutes.
And following up to that question, after you disclose this information to the intelligence community, Inspector General, you're subject to phishing attempts and job blacklisting. How widespread do you think this is across the intelligence community for those who raise concerns regarding UAP programs?
It's a difficult question to answer. I think prior to David Grush and people beginning this process of bringing people into awareness of the reality of these programs and certain things people have witnessed, probably extremely widespread. I think today there's still an issue, but because people are able to come before you and people are speaking out, I think it has been somewhat less. I would hope, though, that people would, because if this goes back into closed doors, this is going to get really ugly.
What type of behavior have you witnessed from former Aero Director Sean Kilpatrick, as well as his staff, in relate to this information you provided to them? Did they ever try to classify this information as non-human technology?
Good question. The problem with this is that I know what I experienced firsthand, and I know other things. I think the staff at Aero that I had met with in March of 2023, I think they were good people doing the job they were told to do.
You want to fast forward to a video?
I did not meet with Kirkpatrick. He was
information from us. Just last night, I tried to get an amendment onto the National Defense Authorization Act that fit in the germaneness of that bill to have UAP discussion.
This guy looks like he'd be unbearable to fucking have to work with. Where did you go?
I'm right there.
Okay.
I just got my lizard.
You didn't hear what I said?
This guy looked like he's unbearable to work with.
Fuck you. All right, here we go.
Good, buddy.
Disclosure. And conveniently, it was named non-germane, mostly deemed by staff, not even an elected official. This is the kind of stuff that we repeatedly see. Last year, we were blocked by someone in House administration from being able to receive a full briefing from Aero. So not an elected official, but someone in staff blocked us. And I've had it. Enough is enough. I want to cue up a video that I've been given. And as before it starts, I'm going to describe, this was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. That you cannot see that drone.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does.
Is that the orb?
Yeah, it must be the orb that they're tracking.
This is when it zoomed out. So you can still see it traveling. So, Mr. Knapp, do you have any?
So wait, the missile didn't do anything to it?
No.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Have you heard about
Hellfire missile?
That looked like it just broke into two. Hold on a second. I never seen this video before.
that drone? And so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does.
Yeah, I've never seen this before. It just breaks.
So it's going. It's going.
And that was the Hellfire missile.
It looks like it just bounced off.
That's wild. Over
This
the
is when
ocean.
it zoomed out. So you can still see it traveling.
Okay.
So, Mr. Knapp, do you have any? Have you heard about events like this occurring, and what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are
What show do these guys have?
I don't know. We'll have to look it up.
servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos
What the fuck was
that Congress has not been.
What?
No, my lizard was just looking at me weird with his mouth open.
Oh, maybe it's happy.
allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and
That's
it looks like
wild.
the debris was taken with it.
Yeah. What the hell is?
And it said looked like the debris was taken with it.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, watch. He says.
And it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah. What the hell is that?
So
What
again,
flies like that?
again, I'm not going to speculate what it is, but the question is, why are we being blocked from this information consistently? And you had you reported James Lakatsky came to you with government possession of NHI craft and how they ultimately gained entry. Can you testify to the veracity of that claim?
Dr. Lakatsky is an honorable man who served most of his career with the DIA.
Let's skip to another video.
Real quick, I'd like to ask the committee to replay that video that Burleson had played earlier. I want to ask every witness here, specifically ones that have sensor training or have been able to recognize some of this movements real quick. So if you guys can please roll that real quick.
That is wild that Hellfire missile bounced off of it.
Yeah.
My mind's a little blown right there.
Yeah, I mean, so when he said that it took the debris with it, now you can kind of see it like absorbing the debris. Look,
Boom.
it goes
And
off.
oh
See
yeah.
those three little things? It just starts.
Yeah.
Okay, while this is still rolling, Mr.
That's gotta be
Nusatelli,
some
real quick,
type of
yes or no
gravity
answers. Are
device
you
that
aware
they're
of
using.
anything in the
Yeah, maybe it's like the debris was like stuck in its gravitational pull,
Yeah.
like or its orbit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it had an orbit around it.
government, United States government arsenal that can split a Hellfire missile like this
No,
and do whatever blob thing it did and then keep going? Nothing?
nothing.
All right, how about you, Chief Wiggins?
Nothing to my knowledge, ma'am.
Okay, and how about you, Mr. Borland?
I prefer to answer that in a skiff.
Okay, does this video scare you guys? Yes or no?
Yes,
Wiggins?
Yes.
Nat?
I had a different reaction. I was really happy that it got out. Thanks for providing that,
Curiosity kills the
Congressman.
cat. All right, Mr. Moreland?
Yes, for
Okay. All right, that is the end of my questioning.
Chief, I was on a ship for a little bit. I was a gunner's mate on the USS Gettysburg for a couple of years. My question to you is, when you had your encounter and you saw it on the screen, you were in the CIC, is that correct?
That's correct. On an LCS ship, the CIC is on the bridge, so it's called ICC-1, but yes, same.
Did a bunch of the other folks in the CIC come and check out what you were looking at?
Yes, we all did. The tactical action officer, myself, the RCO, and two others that were on watch. We were all in the same space, so we were all looking at the Sapphire screen all at the same time.
Because in the other couple instances with the witnesses, you guys just saw it by yourself. Is that correct? Mr. Borland, you saw it by yourself?
For me, yes, sir.
Mr. Nisatelli, you saw this by yourself?
No, there were multiple witnesses in every case at Vandenberg.
Okay. How long did that encounter take place, Chief?
So the encounter itself, from the time I recognized on my radar to the time after the video ends, was probably about...
Adobe Acrobat Studio is all new.
Bullshit. We actually went pretty good without any commercials.
Yeah, we did.
But I mean, in a nutshell, we pretty much got the gist of it. What do you think about that? Because I never saw that Hellfire video or that Hell missile video, and that's fucking wild.
Yeah, I mean, that UFO must have been traveling. I mean, comparatively pretty slow if a Hellfire missile caught up to it. But the fact that it just bounced right off, I mean, I'm assuming Hellfire is one of the good ones.
Yeah. You know?
No explosion, no nothing. It just bounced right off. And, well, think about it. So it seems like it didn't explode. It seems like it didn't explode. And you think about how that guy's phone just heated up and fizzed out.
Yep.
The technology on that Hellfire missile probably did the same thing. That's why it didn't explode. And it just bounced off, cracked into a couple pieces, and the gravitational pull of whatever this thing is just took the fragments with it, because that's just how that works, I guess.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
Yeah, so yeah, that's wild stuff. I mean, the General Fravor interview on Joe Rogan's podcast, I recommend anybody watch that if they're interested. One of the most credited flight pilots in the U.S. military, he's having these same experiences. You know, what's going on here? And I think they don't make it public because people are going to start being like, yo, can we stop like fighting each other for a second and figure out what the fuck is going on in our solar system?
That's the fake alien conspiracy, is that they're gonna do a fake alien invasion. That way we all stop fighting with each other and realize there's more to the world, and that's how we become a one world government planet too.
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
If what?
If that was true and we became a one world government because they faked it.
I think that'd be a bad thing.
I think it would be a good thing.
No, because then it would be a new world order. They'd change, like, who knows what they would do with religion. Religion would be out the door probably.
I don't think religion would be out the door. I think it would change significantly.
Dude, if they did an alien invasion, religion would be out the door, and these trans retards would be like, see, now we can be fucking reptilians. Right?
I knew there was something to being a furry.
Yeah, you know.
That was close. But, yeah, man, UFOs, they've been reported for thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Lazar said that he was working on UFOs. A couple of them were found recently. One of them had crashed into an airliner, and the other one was ancient. You know, so these beings, I think they have obviously a technology we don't understand, but at the same time, it seems like they're just capable of making mistakes just like we are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it seems like. And that's just interesting to think about, you know? So maybe they're not angels, or how we would define angels in theology. But a more advanced human race or different race that did come down and give us technology, you know, some type of humanoid, because it seems like all the watchers were of humanoid, what's the word, body, you know. All the ancient gods, the Anunnaki, the Greek gods, the Norse gods, they were all giants. They were all huge.
Mm-hmm.
They all possessed some type of magic. They all handed us technology, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, all we can do is speculate, right?
Yep.
You know, but yeah. Well, does that conclude?
I guess that concludes, man, for our UFO episode.
Yeah, well, hey, I mean, let us know what you think. I mean, the fact that this isn't more mainstream kind of blows my mind, because it's just like, hey, I know there's shit going on that we should really worry about, and we're not. You know, I mean, this is a whole nother realm of insanity.
Yeah.
You know,
That's very true.
so let us know what you think. I mean, I know some of you don't believe in aliens at all. Some of you are firm believers like me and Paul. Let us know what you think, man. I mean, and like, comment, subscribe.
Sweet.
Alrighty.